They did a massive surprise update to The Sims 4 last week where they completely rebuilt all of the base game townie houses. So like the goth house, the land grab house, all of those iconic builds are gone and they've been replaced with something newer and better. And when I call them iconic, I don't necessarily mean in a good way. Some of the original base game builds were interesting. They made some choices that maybe I wouldn't have personally made. And so you probably recognize this house. This is the original Caliente house. I've always felt like this house was kind of bland for a family that's as iconic as the Calientes. The inside is also a little bit weird. It's got serious 2014 energy. It's kind of dark in here. There's some random things like this really high shelf and a giraffe in the dining room. They've got a kitchen over here with a bar and some really expensive appliances. They've also got a living room and like a piano area on this side. There's a bathroom downstairs. I always pictured this as being Don's room. It's kind of like he's got a little guest room or something. I always thought it was weird that he had a single bed in here, and I've never understood the placement of this curtain. It's like there used to be a window and then there wasn't anymore. Upstairs, we've kind of got this dark, scary hallway, and then we've got what I assume is Katrina's room, because it's got an ensuite bathroom. And then we have Nina and Dina's rooms, and these are just horrible. This is not how I envision Nina and Dina's rooms to look like. These girls are like hip and fashionable, and what do you mean they have this horrible yellow room? Like there's just no way that they would have done this. And the placement of the furniture and the rugs, I do not understand this space. And that's the whole house. There's not a lot going on. The backyard is really small. It's got a grill and a picnic table. It's nothing special. And this is what the new house reno looks like. It's a lot fancier from the outside. You can see they tried to improve the roof line and add some more details to it. This is gonna take a lot of getting used to, honestly, to grow accustomed to the change, because you get so used to the default builds that when they're different, it just feels weird. But I like it. I like the balconies. I think it's kind of interesting. There's a fountain in the front. Around the back, we have a pool now, which didn't even exist when the original house was built. We didn't even have the pool update yet. There's a telescope. We've got some kind of cool staircases. We never had lounge chairs or even sliding glass doors when the base game first launched. They were able to add a bunch of things like that. And the inside is a lot brighter now. We've got this really fancy living room over here. On this side, we have the dining room, and they still have the piano with like the off-center rug. Even the curtains are the same color as before, but it's just improved upon. In the back, we've got a massive kitchen. I like this open shelving they've done in here. I feel like it's kind of cool looking. And they actually swapped it. They used to have the most expensive stove and then a cheap fridge. And now they have the most expensive fridge and a pretty expensive stove. It's kind of just an open room with the marble. There's a bathroom downstairs. And then through here, we've got a staircase to get upstairs. I really like this open hallway. This feels very Florida to me with the opening. Katrina has this room. She's got a balcony and an ensuite bathroom with a walk-in closet. I think of this room as belonging to Dina. There's a bathroom, and then we also have what I assume is Nina's room. I still feel like the bedrooms in this house don't have enough personality. Like there's something about them that just doesn't feel good enough for those girls. They're too iconic for a room that is this bland. Like you almost can't even tell whose room is meant to be whose. And I do not like Katrina's room. I'm sorry, but the red with the purple and the brown, just like the color scheme, the furniture, the patterns, it doesn't make sense. I do not think Katrina would have this. And Don has nothing in the entire house. Literally not a single thing in this house that belongs to him, which I feel like is kind of weird. When you read their backstory, it says it's no longer girls only now that Caliente matriarch Katrina has moved in her mooching boy toy Don. With 3 fiery, attractive ladies in the house, will Don remain faithful, or will he get involved with more than one Caliente woman? First of all, ew. Also, kind of obsessed with Don being called a mooching boy toy, but that explains why he doesn't have a room or any furniture. Like he's just supposed to be kind of mooching off of Katrina's house. But it's weird because in game, he doesn't actually have a romantic relationship with any of them. So if he's supposed to be into Katrina, they don't even have a friendship. Like the bar is this small, they just met. So he can't sleep in her bed. If you play here, he's got nowhere to sleep. And I just feel like he needs something more than that. Even if it was decorated as like a guest room, I would prefer that. I just wish that he had a bed somewhere because he literally can't stay here. You could pretend that he naps on the couch, I guess, but it's just not functional for him. And now he also has a brand new pack that just came out. Last week, the Casanova Cave kit that is fully based around Don Lothario released, and it's got a mix of Cass and build items, but it's kind of meant to be like a man cave build kit. And so I was thinking it might be kind of fun to try to renovate this new Caliente house using just the base game and this new kit. I almost wish that he had a man cave or something by default, kind of like Bob Pancakes does in his new house. They also don't have any gym equipment or any bars in this house, and every single sim in the family has a mixology skill and a fitness skill. So they're kind of lacking in that department too. But that is enough intro for this. Let's dive into the build and I'll show you how I renovated it. So in renovating this house, I wasn't really sure how big of a change I wanted to make, because part of me just wanted to like moderately improve it and try to add in the kit in a few places, build a basement, and then call it a day. I didn't really want to change it too drastically to the point where it was unrecognizable. Like, I wasn't trying to do a rebuild. I was trying to do a reno to this house, but I also couldn't help myself from changing out a lot of the things that I didn't like. So that includes some of the backyard being a little bit too small. I really didn't like the mix of fences in the front yard, so I swapped that out. I felt like the kitchen area was really big and kind of empty, and I also felt really cold with the white marble, considering how there's like red tile and terracotta colors everywhere else. So I tried to fix that a little bit. I knew I wanted to have bars, at least more than one, to be honest, and I also wanted to have a gym. So the basement is where the major renovation happens, but I also redecorated the entire upstairs, and I kind of shifted a couple of shapes. You'll see that I like shrunk it in a couple places. I added some stuff to a couple of other places. I did not like the carpet upstairs, so I changed that out. Small things that I felt like made a big difference, and hopefully you like it too. I would kind of like to go through and do this to a few of the other townie houses, specifically the Goth family's house, which I am so sorry to admit, I don't know if I like that much. I want to like the new Goth house so bad because I think it's good in theory. I just feel like it's maybe a little bit too big, so the lot is too small to have a real backyard, and I wish they had some more space. It's a little bit too dark, and it should be dark, but it's like a little bit too dark. There's no downstairs bathroom. The kitchen's kind of sad. So I might even do a complete rebuild of the Goth house. I might like to try and do that with Life and Death as well. So let me know if you want to see that, because I will totally do it. I just might wait until after the wedding to do that, because I have a lot going on and I feel really stressed out. We are less than 2 weeks away from the wedding. And when I say that out loud, it sounds kind of scary. I don't know where the time has gone. It came up so fast. I'm so excited, but it's just like the last minute details are so much. There's so many little things to finish still. And I know I talk about it in like every video right now. It's just a lot of my life is revolving around this at this current moment in time, okay? In a few weeks, we'll be past this. I guess I do have a couple of wedding updates to share with you while we're still here on the topic. I'm getting a haircut today. I usually like my hair to be a little bit shorter than this, just a little bit shorter than this. And normally I cut it myself, but I thought that was a bad idea. Specifically cutting like the bangs. I was like, you know what? I might have been doing it myself, but we're gonna go to a professional, because I don't want to risk messing up hair this short in the front of my face before the wedding. I think that normally you get recommended to not change your hair close to the wedding, but that's not what I'm doing. I always cut my hair shorter than this. This is just me upkeeping my normal, okay? So I'm not gonna regret it, don't worry. To me, my hair is like irritatingly long right now, which I know sounds really silly because it's pretty short, but that's how I feel. It's been annoying me so bad too. I usually wear these headphones when I'm just like sitting at my desk. These are more what I wear to record because I don't want to have a thing on my head when I'm recording, but these are more comfortable for like long-term actual usage, but I can't even wear them right now because the length of my bangs is bugging me so much with the headphones on. I don't know if anybody relates to this, but they're just, when you get to a certain point with them, it like sits weird with my headphones because of how it's sitting like right here, and I just, oh my god. So I had to stop wearing the headphones, otherwise I would have cut my hair myself. I've been wanting to do this for like 2.5 weeks, and so I've been really brave and holding out. Most of everything is done. There's just like little things left to do still, but one of the big things that I still have to do is write my vows. We're writing our own vows for like part of the ceremony, so I'm gonna be speaking with things that I have written, and I haven't written them yet. And the wedding's in 2 weeks. It's not that I'm putting it off. I think I just feel shy, and so I'm not sure exactly how I want to do it. So I've been like brainstorming, but I haven't physically written them yet. That is the plan for this weekend, is to like really knock that out. And I've had a bunch of meetings with like various wedding vendors this week about various things. Oh, hello, the cat is here. This is good timing because she's involved in this part. So one of the meetings that I had was with a videographer, because we've hired a photographer and a videographer. And I think that I'm gonna post the video on YouTube. I probably shouldn't announce that because I don't want to disappoint people if I decide against it, but I don't know, I haven't seen it yet. Maybe I'll want to keep it for myself, I don't know. But I have hired a videographer, and I do intend to post the video that she makes here on YouTube. I love watching other people's wedding videos. It makes me so emotional. I'm a crier. Like, I'll cry at some stranger's wedding. I'm serious. I just love that kind of thing. So I would like to share it here on YouTube. I think that was always kind of my plan. But I had a meeting with her, and in the meeting, I had to tell her that I was a YouTuber because I felt like I probably should discuss with her in advance the fact that I was planning on posting it here on my YouTube channel, because I have the right to it, to post it wherever I want. Like, that's kind of how it works. But like, you know, you can't very well just not say that you're gonna post it to a channel that has like 2 million subscribers. Like, stop biting that. It is different than like a normal wedding video, I guess. But I was so shy and embarrassed about telling her. Like, it just felt so cringe to be like, hey, just by the way, like, I was hoping to post this on my YouTube channel. I felt so awkward saying it out loud. And then like, I told her how many subscribers I have because I felt like it was important for the context of why I was telling her this. And that is so cringe. I'm sorry, but like, admitting out loud how many subscribers you have to this stranger that you're just meeting on the phone for the first time, oh my god. It was fine. It was fine. And I think maybe she already knew based on how she reacted. But oh, I felt so awkward having that conversation. Purely just because of how awkward it feels to be like, yeah, so I make YouTube videos. Like, it's just, yeah, I play The Sims. But Snap comes into this because the photographer and the videographer are starting at my house. Like, we're getting ready at my house and then going to the venue. So they're coming here first, which means that Snap is gonna get to be in it. I don't really know to like what degree, but she'll be there. So I would love to have photos of her, or like her at least make an appearance in the video somehow. We have 3 cats, but my other 2 cats are much more shy. Like, my other 2 kittens are real scaredy cats with strangers. At least one of them is. Shrimp doesn't show up to strangers. Like, he'll hide in my bed underneath the blankets if a stranger's at the house. His sister Sunny is a little bit more brave. Like, she'll come out and look at a stranger, but she won't like sit with them. Snap will climb onto a stranger's lap. Like, she'll sit with anybody. She'll like scream at a stranger to pet her, and I mean literally scream at a stranger to pet her. Like, she is a very social cat, so that's why I feel like she'll be in it and the other 2 might not, just because they're kind of nervous. But when I think about that, it makes me want to cry because Snap is my childhood cat. We've had her since I was 9 years old, and I just, the thought of her being in the video is like so emotional to me. But anyway, I might have told you that already and I'm repeating myself, and I'm sorry, because I don't know. It's all I'm thinking about right now. It's everything on my mind is like wedding related, but that's all the updates that I have. So I swear we'll stop with this at some point soon. We've made a lot of progress with the house now, so I probably should mention some of the things that I've been doing. You can see that I was trying to make some changes with the patio space and like some of the landscaping. I've added in a way bigger fountain. They had the same fountain before, but I tried to make it into a more custom shaped fountain by using the fountain pieces in game. So it's round, it's bigger, it's got some extra water features, and then the fountain that they had before is just in the middle of it. I don't really use fountains all that often, but I felt like it looked really good there. It like made the courtyard make more sense. I also just put some seating in the courtyard basically to fill it up. I put like some little rose bushes and those debug planters, and I kind of put those around the build. Those debug planters are in Oasis Springs. Like, some of the trees around this lot and the environment have those planters, and so I used them on our patio because it kind of matched the tile and then it tied into the world a bit more. I also filled in the courtyard with stone. Before it was plants and like grass and stuff, but I thought I liked it better being paved a little bit more. It's hard watching back this speed build because it's like so all over the place. Because when you're making a renovation like this, I feel like you're doing small things. I'm like shrinking a wall and then changing some furniture and then shrinking another wall and then changing some different furniture, and then I'm back outside and then I'm inside again. So I was just all over the place trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I will give you a tour and like point things out a little bit more at the end because I feel like it's easier to see that way, but I still wanted to show you the full process because it's kind of interesting to like watch it back, I think. Because for example, on this patio, a lot of this is the same. I kept that kind of cool, almost waterfall edge pool that they had. I kept their lounge chairs, I kept the table. I didn't really change the layout of the main patio, but I did add some things to the bottom patio because theirs was a little bit smaller. I made it bigger and changed the floor tile. And then I put in things like a hot tub because I felt like the Caliente house would have a hot tub. I don't love this hot tub. Like, I don't know if it matches the style of their house that well, but it does have the black accents that match all the windows and the foundation and stuff, which I thought helped. And Don Lothario having the option to woohoo in a hot tub is just so him. So I wanted to do that. I did keep the telescope. I just moved it a little bit. And then I put like a little hedge fence to hide where the trash cans are because I wanted them to be kind of tucked away. I didn't want to just have the trash cans out and about. And I also didn't want to put a fence fence all the way across the backyard because I wanted it to be more open because it's quite small. So I couldn't like hide the trash can outside of the fence like I normally would. So I just made my own. But look, we're back in the front yard again. And I was like going back and forth with these bushes nonstop. I changed it about a million times. And now we're kind of finally starting to work on the interior. So this basement space is like the main thing in the whole build. This was like the biggest part that I changed because obviously it's all brand new. So I picture this room as being Dawn's man cave. And I was trying to think about color scheme down here because a lot of the house is very just beige, lots of beige and brown and kind of orange tones up there. But I felt like Dawn had a lot of red. For him, he wears like the red shirts and stuff. So I used a lot of red, black, and brown in this downstairs space. And I used pretty much everything from his new kit. The big thing is the TV and the built-ins along the back wall, but there's also a couch. We've got like a little card table. I have the bar tucked away in a corner. And you'll see I end up adding in a gym as well. So it's gonna have a gym, a bathroom, and a guest room down here. In my mind, I wasn't really trying to think of this as being Dawn's basement. I was kind of trying to imagine if Katrina had a like cinema room, like movie theater in her basement, and then if Dawn made some adjustments to it based on his personal preferences, and then he had a guest room. That's sort of what I thought was happening. So maybe he's been here long enough to like help them pick out some artwork, but it's still just a guest room that he's got. So it's not really decorated as if it was Don Lothario's room. It's just kind of like a generic room that has a couple of his things in it. So I put like a backpack and some dirty clothes on the floor because I felt like Don wouldn't have a suitcase. He would just have a backpack that he was bringing around. This gym was one of my favorite parts too because I really thought they needed to have this. Don used to have a punching bag on the balcony of the old house, and so it was kind of weird that they didn't have this stuff anywhere because again, all of them have the fitness skill, every single one of them. So I fit in a punching bag and also a treadmill down here. I would have loved to have a yoga mat, but I was doing it with just the base game, so I didn't have that. I also kind of liked the layout of this basement. I felt like it was kind of weird, but in a cool way, with the rooms all like tucked away in different corners. I also don't normally go for red. Like I don't use red in a lot of my builds, so that was a fun touch. Don has in his kit these really cute framed photos, and they're literally pictures of him and also pictures of him with the Calientes. So it was kind of fun to put him in there. It felt very right. I used those photos around the place a few times in the house. There's a couple upstairs as well. I also really wanted to put the mini fridge behind the bar, but I just did not like how it looked. There's something about mini fridges in this game that I really don't like. I never use any of them, and I think it's because they don't fit with the counters. Like the mini fridge is significantly smaller than a single tile, so it doesn't fit with a counter normally. So you want to put it next to a counter, but it's like the wrong height just by a tiny bit. And it's also too skinny, so it doesn't fill in the space. So it's really hard to use. If they made the mini fridges work kind of like the dishwashers where they slot to a counter and it could still have a countertop on the top of it, I would love that. I would like for the washer and dryers to work like that from laundry day too. That would be perfect to me, but I understand that it's probably too late to do that. But it's not weird if they make another mini fridge, they could make us one that kind of works like a dishwasher. But I would have an easier time putting them in then because I often will put counters behind a bar, and if you could just tuck the mini fridge, perfect. Instead, I'm like struggling to make it fit and then giving up. I haven't managed to put it in any of the builds that I've done with this kit so far, except this one. And in this one, I put it in the gym, which isn't perfect, but I guess if they had a drinks fridge in the gym for like waters and stuff, maybe that makes sense. But now we're moving upstairs, and this is where the renovation gets a little bit lighter because we've made less changes. The big thing in here was that I changed the walls. I opened it up a little bit more so it wasn't so closed off. And of course, we have the new basement staircase. I also changed the windows, and I even made the kitchen a tiny bit bigger because it used to have these tiny windows into like a fake room, I guess, which I got rid of and I just scooted the wall back. So there's a whole other tile in the kitchen. I also replaced one of the island counters with the single tile bar. I think it looks really cool in the kitchen island like that, and it's realistic because again, they all have the mixology skill, so it makes sense that they would have one. But you can see the kitchen is kind of the same color scheme. I've just moved things around. This bathroom is also pretty much the same. It's just smaller now. So it used to have a tub. Now it doesn't. It just has a toilet and a sink. I had to shrink it to make room for the staircase, but I think that was worth it. And it's okay to have just a toilet and a sink downstairs. Like a half bathroom powder room kind of thing makes sense in a space like this. I did also add in a breakfast nook into the kitchen. I wanted to have a rug there because I was really trying to break up the space with all of that white tile because I like the idea of Katrina having white marble in her house, but it just didn't match. So I was trying to split it up a bit more. I even put some wood by the staircase to try and break it up a bit more too. And now we're going back into the living room. And in this room, I actually added a little bit of a bump out. So where the bar is new. That wasn't there before, but I thought it was nice to have. And then it's it's another bar in the house. This one is kind of weirdly shaped because it's up against the wall, but I promise it's still functional. Your Sims just need to be able to stand in the back of it. They don't need to sit in the front. As long as they can stand there in the back, they can use it. I've done it a lot in spaces like this. It's nice to like tuck bars away sometimes where they fit better. And then I thought it worked to have a bar in the living room. It maybe would have been better in the dining room, but I think it's okay. I think it's fine like that. I also ended up swapping where the fireplace and TV were because I did that as well. The dining room was a lot harder for me to figure out because I just don't like this. I did not like the dining room. The rug combo was weird. The piano is like too big. Why are you back and still trying to eat my headphones? Oh my gosh. The piano was like too big for that space. So I ended up expanding this room a tiny bit, which I think worked out for the better because it made the balcony upstairs a little bit bigger, which is a win. I wish that we had the pianos that were like the stand-up pianos from Growing Together for this because I think it would make a little bit more sense. I wish that also maybe I had made a more designated space for the grand piano, but I guess in their original build, they didn't have a designated space. It was kind of just tucked away there, so maybe it's okay. It's not my fault that it looks weird. It's actually their fault. I also changed the floor in there to have that wood color too because I just wanted to break it up more. I don't know, I felt like having a wood floor and the terracotta tile and the marble tile made the marble feel less out of place. If we just mixed it up a bunch, there was a bunch of different flooring colors. I kept the upstairs very similar. I just added a little bit of extra furniture in the hallway, like extra chairs, because there was just one before and it felt kind of randomly placed in there. I also put a bookshelf upstairs. The bathroom in the hallway for Nina and Dina, I did not change. Like, I didn't touch a single thing in that room. It was a way bigger process in Katrina's room and bathroom because I shrunk her bathroom a bit when I changed the kitchen. So it was just laid out a little bit differently, and then her closet didn't really quite fit anymore. So what I did is make her bathroom bigger and incorporate that closet space. And then I made like a little toilet closet, like a water closet back there, which I thought was nice because it's kind of tucked away. It feels fancy, like a fancy house like this would have. And then I built out a closet inside of the primary bedroom because the room was so big, I felt like it could afford to lose a little bit of space. The bathroom is pretty much the same color scheme as it was before. I didn't really change that. I kept the wallpaper and stuff. I just rearranged it to fit with the new floor plan better because I did like it before. The other bedrooms though, completely different. We're doing Nina's right now and I swapped this around so much. First of all, I added a balcony for her on the side, so I had to move her bed because it was blocking the doors. I kept the same bed, although I didn't like it very much, and I swapped out a ton of the furniture. She had a desk and a computer before. I kept that. She had some open shelving before, I kept that too. And she had that pinky purpley wallpaper, which I also kept and just kind of based everything else around it. I tried to have a mix of like a light and a dark wood because the whole house kind of has that. I never do that. I never combine these colors, but I thought for the spirit of keeping this the same and like the same original vibes, I probably should. But this was a hard room for me. I really honestly did not like this room. I also don't like Nina that much. I like Dina better. So I guess it's nice that Dina has the nicer room. Nina's room is bigger and has a balcony though, so she kind of wins on that front. It makes you feel bad when these two sisters, one of them has a way better room, like objectively a better room. I'm skipping around a lot, but now we're back into Katrina's room. I did her bathroom and then I left and then I came back. This is Katrina's new closet. I kept mostly Katrina's clothes, but I put one set of suit jackets, like just a little bit for Don, as if he's kept a couple things up there because he's sleeping up there a lot. And I was looking at everybody's likes and dislikes, and Katrina's favorite colors are red and yellow. So her room being purple and orange just did not feel right to me. So I ended up using that base game rug that kind of has those like sunset vibes to it a little bit. And then I used that base game bed that comes as a reward from the artist career, because I don't use that bed very often, and it does have one plain swatch. It's got three, one that's red and one that's sunflowers and one that's Starry Night. So it's got a couple paintings on it. This swatch thankfully is more plain and it matches. I also originally had the wallpaper red, but I thought it was too much. So I swapped it back out to be beige. I know. But the whole house is beige, and it was beige, and I think she probably would paint her walls beige. She's wearing beige. Like, clearly she likes it. So I did do that. She has a TV still. I also gave her a little desk space in this little nook corner. In my mind, I was pretending that it was a vanity table. It's not actually a vanity table because there's none in the base game, but I put a desk and a mirror above it, and then I put like some little products on it as if she was using it like a vanity table. The actual vanities in game have gameplay where you can apply makeup, although they're not cute. The makeup that you can apply is not cute. So really, who uses them, right? Like, they're just for the vibes. They're more of a stylistic choice. than a functional choice. But honestly, that's pretty much everything. We're kind of wrapping up these last little details now. I was adding some extra plant decor. I had to fix a few things, like the mailbox was in the middle of a room. I had some weird clipping with some plants that I went back through and fixed. I added some terrain paint at the very end, like I always do. Oh, I forgot about Dina's room. Okay, this is the very end. We're rearranging Dina's room. She wears more green and likes green a little bit more than her sister, so I used the green bed. Her favorite colors are green and black when you check her favorite colors in game. So I tried to keep a lot of green and black in here, but that's pretty much it. And now we are just about done with the build. Now we are actually wrapping up, putting little decor in, and it's finally done. So I'm gonna go back and give you a tour of the finished product. I think we all know where this house is. We're all pretty familiar with the Calientes, but this is what the finished product looks like. So the main change here on the front is that I've added some extra trees. Sorry, my cat's yelling. I've added some extra trees. I actually made this top floor short wall height. It used to be medium, but I felt like it felt too empty, especially above these doors. So I made it a little bit shorter. Of course, we have the new fountain, which is one of the highlights to me. I have a little table over here and some more plants. If you come around the side, I swapped out how this looked a little bit. It used to have this really weird bump out that was like 2 tiles bigger, and it had some windows kind of like these, but for medium wall height. It looked like this a little bit, but it was just an empty 1 tile room, and then the kitchen had windows into that. I didn't like it, so I swapped that out, but I did add this section on. It was kind of exactly like this, but taller, and I thought it made more sense in the bathroom than in the kitchen. I might have also changed some of the shape right around here. There was something weird about this whole side of the house, so I made some adjustments. I added some little trees right here, kind of for privacy from the front because I had the hot tub. Like I was saying, I didn't really want to put a fence. If I could have the fence on the edge, that would have been great, but you can't place it there. It has to be 1 tile in. And I don't know, I just thought that it made the backyard way too small. So I didn't fence it off. I'd rather have the opening so you can look at the lake. Most of this is the same, like this patio. Didn't touch it. This pool looks the same. I did change the fence because I didn't like the fence they had on the side of this before, but otherwise it's pretty similar in the back. Of course, I also have my little trash can sneaky section over here. I've been doing that in a lot of builds recently. And then when you come inside the house, a lot of this area is very similar as well. I changed out the arrangement of this living room. The TV used to be over here. I put it above the fireplace instead. Now we have a bar on this side. You can see I've got those pictures of Don and the Calientes. I put some magazines from his kit on the table, and this couch is also from his kit. They used to have the little 2-wide sofa that matches this right there, but I felt like Don's couch made more sense. It's the same color too, so it's not a huge change, but it's a simple thing that makes it look a little bit nicer, and there's more seating. I changed basically nothing in this entryway aside from adding a bookshelf and actually sizing up these keys. I got a new rug in here. I changed the flooring. I also added some bigger windows. They used to be like little teeny tiny. Before they had these windows in the dining room, and that was just so small. So I wanted to have some bigger ones. I also put this picture from Don's kit in there because that felt very Caliente house to me. In the kitchen, we've got a little bit more space, and I've rearranged some of the things. We also have the most expensive fridge and stove because I prefer them to match. I actually kept the same shelves they had. I just moved them. I didn't even change what's on the shelves. I just scooted them around. The bathroom changed quite a bit just in shape because it had to be smaller. The bathroom used to go out to here where the stairs are. So obviously I've added some new art on the stairs. I've got the little wraparound wall by the stairs. We have this breakfast nook. I did put this rose on the table because in my mind, Don gave that to Katrina. He was like trying to woo her, so he gave her a rose. We also have the record player from Don's kit in this area, and I'm gonna go upstairs next because I want to save the basement for last because it's the best part. In the hallway, I really just added a couple extra pieces of furniture. This bathroom didn't change at all, but here's kind of a better view of Nina's room because I sped it up so quick. I feel like it's a little bit more obvious now whose room is whose, which I preferred. This one is Dina's. Hers is a lot nicer. It makes me feel bad that she has so much more space. I used the same pictures in here again, but these are the ones from San Myshuno. I could see her having some pretty photos printed. Their mom has this lovely room. Oh, and we're making ourselves at home watching TV in the bed. I feel like this fiery color is way more Katrina, so I like this a lot better, and you can see the lighter walls too. It's an improvement. I used the same rug in her closet though, and she's got more clothing and more shoes in here now. And then she also has this bathroom. Same color scheme, just slightly redone. Her toilet's kind of tucked away in here. But that's the whole of the upstairs. The layout is quite similar, but a lot of the furniture has changed. Way more than I changed on the first floor. But then when you come into the basement, this is all completely new. You'll walk walk down this little staircase and you can go through this door to get into the guest room. This is what I was saying, how I gave Dawn just a backpack and like some dirty clothes. I wasn't trying to put a lot of personality into this room because I'm thinking of it as being a guest room. And I also don't think that he would sleep in there. Like in the story, he sleeps in Katrina's bed. In the game, he can't sleep in Katrina's bed. So he needs somewhere else to sleep, which is why this is here. He also has an ensuite bathroom, which is very similar in color scheme to the other one upstairs, but it's got a big giant tub. I used some of the pictures from his kit. The main space though is more fun because this is where the living room is. So they've got a huge TV, which is nice to have because upstairs their TV room is kind of sad. Just above the fireplace, it's like so high up. This is a nicer, like more cozy place to watch TV. They also have the card table so you can play board games. Thankfully, we've got another bar down here so we can sit here. We've got like the drink pictures up. Of course, I have the record player again. And then in the gym, I tried to make a kind of cute, oops, I made a mistake. I didn't paint that because I covered it with the rug. Oh no. I was gonna say I tried to make a cute section for the punching bag. I also put some music and like the mini fridge. And of course we have a treadmill too. So that is the full layout of the basement. It made the house significantly bigger, but I think this is an improvement. I like how it's not such a drastic difference that it's unrecognizable, but it just has more skill building stuff. It hopefully fits their personalities better. It's a little bit brighter. Of course, when I did this, I was using cheats. I was using move objects and debug, and I don't think that EA was allowed to do that when they did their build. So I had a little bit of an easier time. But with that, I'm gonna stop yapping and I'm gonna end this video right here. This has been a really chatty video, so hopefully it wasn't boring. Thank you for putting up with me just talking so much recently and probably saying the same thing multiple times in videos. I've got a lot going on right now. Also, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'm gonna catch you all tomorrow. Okay, bye everybody. Oh, and stay tuned because I'm posting a very long speed build also using this kit and Bella's this weekend. It's a set of townhouses, so it's really big.